All right, we are live. Welcome everyone to the Rogue Hangout. My name's Alesha Drew, and welcome to today's Hangout. We've got some awesome entrepreneurs with us here today, as you can see on the screen. And we're going to be sharing with you today the power of live events and why it's crucial towards your success in your business and also in your life as well. Feel free to leave any questions or comments that you have below this video. And don't forget to click that like button, as we'd love to hear from you. And yeah, with that being said, we're going to get things started, and I'm going to shake it up a little bit and hand it across to Sheena to get us going. She's going to share her thoughts today on live events and how that's impacted her life. So take it away, Sheena.
Thank you, Alesha. Sorry, I had to just unmute it quickly. But thanks for having me again. And yes, I've been going to events ever since I started in our company. And the first one I went to was in Austin, Texas. And being at an event the first time is like scary. You don't know what to expect. You don't know anybody. You're like thinking, what am I doing? But ever since that time, I've been going ever since. And it's really changed my life and how I see things, and just surrounding yourself with the right people, right? I remember my first event, which was in Austin. They had an auction, which was to, it went from getting a signed hat to spending a day with our CEOs of our company, and I just remember sitting there in the back thinking, I think it'd be cool if I got to hang out with the CEOs of the company, just to see what it's like, just to see if I could believe in the vision that they had. And that day, I actually got that auction where I got to spend the day with our CEOs. And a couple months later, they flew me to St. Petersburg, and I got to spend the day with them on a yacht, got to talk to them, and it was a very fun day, or important day that day, just because they hit 100,000 customers, and I could just see it in their eyes, how much belief they have in the people, how much belief they have in the company and where it's going. And I knew from then on that I'm here to stay. I know where I'm going. I know that this is something that everyone can be in, and I just ever since then I just kept on going. And a lot of people ask me, why do you go to these things? I don't understand why you go. It's kind of like going to school, right? You got to keep on showing up until you pass. And even if you pass, you still got to keep on showing up. If people who are making 6- and 7-figure incomes are going to events, then you got to do what successful people are doing. You got to show up. And if you want people to know who you are, that's why you got to consistently, and I mean consistently go to events, right? I've been consistently going, and people know who I am, right? I get to, I've been friends with all, people who are, making, who are at the top earners in our company, but they know who I am. We're friends now. Before, when I first started going, I used to look up to them. I used to be like starstruck. I used to be in awe, and now it's totally different. And you get to meet so many people from around the world, right? I mean, I met all these people at an event. I remember meeting Alesha for the first time. We were at a meeting, and another friend from Australia actually introduced me to her. And ever since then, we've been just connecting, communicating. We see each other at events. We save seats for each other. We hang out. We have fun, and it's just the relationships you build, the fun you have. The traveling. I mean, I've never traveled so much in my life ever since now. I mean, I've been to Las Vegas. I've been to Miami. I've been to Denver. I've been to Charlotte. I've been to New Orleans. Some of these places I've always wanted to go, and I had a reason now to go, because I get to meet my friends. I get to inspire people. I get to learn a little bit more about myself. Every time I leave an event, I always get some type of breakthrough, whether it's making a video, doing a hangout, or just being more confident and believing in myself. There's something I always lead with, because before I go to an event, I always set an intention as to what I want out of it, right? Whether it's to become better at videos, whether it's to make more connections, whether it's to make videos, whether it's to just have more confidence, or be able to learn a certain strategy. I get it at an event. And if you're in a company, or maybe you're not, and maybe you don't understand what it's like to be in an event, then maybe if, you can hit up one of us, see what it's like. I share lots of stuff when we're at events. I share pictures, I share stories. I just show off what we have just to see like everyone is happy, everyone is having fun. We get to connect with people every 3 months. For me actually, I feel it's like a family reunion. We get to connect. I get to connect with my family every 3 months, whether it's in Miami, whether it's in Denver, whether it's in New Orleans, and I get to see them, right? It's not just a little profile picture on Facebook, right? It's like in person, and it's great because sometimes I feel like I've known them for so long because we've chatted maybe on Facebook or any other social media, and when I see them for the first time, it's just like, oh my gosh, I finally get to meet you, and it's like we're family, and it feels like we've known each other for so long. And I've never met a bunch of people, like people at events, people that are just genuinely nice, genuinely, friendly. If you need help, they're there for you. And it can be any crisis. I mean it, like any crisis. Like we had a lady who's battling cancer, and she's also in her business, and she needed a type of blender to make her shakes, and a round of us women actually went out of our way to find like a blender to buy it at like the nearest Walmart just so that she could have it in her hotel because the hotel at the time couldn't have it. And it's just things like that. We just look out for each other. We have each other's backs, right? And sometimes maybe that's something you're looking for. You just need a support group that can help, that you can lean on when you feel like you don't believe in yourself, when you feel like you're alone. Because sometimes when we're in business, we just feel like we're the only ones doing it, but you're not, right? We have a group, we have a great community that actually backs everybody up, and I mean backs everybody up. There's no one that no one gets left. We all walk together. We all walked in the same line. There's no one in front of us. There's no one behind us, and that's another thing I love about it. So, I mean, I just love events. I mean, I never miss an event. When people say, I don't know if I should go, and I tell them, you have to go, right? I mean, especially if you're not getting the results that you want, you have to keep on going. Do you ever go to school and feel like, I don't feel like going to school today? Of course not, right? I mean, especially if you go to college or university, you paid for that. You're going to show up, of course, right? You're not going to be like, oh, I don't feel like going because, it's not my time, or, something came up. You're going to go regardless because, I mean, that's the mentality we had, right? Like, you pay for school, you have to show up, or you fail, right? That's how you have to treat an event. You have to go. You have to show up, right? You have to keep on showing up until you get the results that you want, until you get the income that you desire, or the life that you want, whether it's to quit your job, whether it's to spend more time with your family, whether it's to, travel, whatever it is, you have to show up. So that's my little story. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, awesome stuff, Sheena. I want to ask you a little bit more about that experience that you had with Dave and Dave. I mean, I heard about the experience a little bit, but I haven't actually heard it from you personally. Could you kind of shed a little bit more light on, how that day actually went, and what it actually did for you and your business to actually be with the founders of our company? I mean, it must have been pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. I mean, at first I was scared. I didn't really know what to expect. I've never met these guys ever. I've only seen them on videos, and they're just honestly, after just spending the day with them, and you know how when you see David Wood talk to you, and it feels like he's only talking to you. It's the same thing, it's the same thing in person. Like when he talks to you, he looks at you straight in the eye. I remember he looked at me straight in the eye and he says, "I know you can do this. I believe in you," because I could see it. And like his eyes is just piercing, right in your face. And that's when I realized, I've never seen anyone who could believe in me so much, right? And especially when they hit the milestone of having 100,000 customers, they were just so excited. They were just so happy, and like I just saw where they were going. They were so sure of where they were going. I knew that I was in the right place. I knew that I'm planting my foot here, or I'm stamping my ground, whatever you call it. But I just knew that they're for real, that they're not going anywhere, and they're here to stay. They're going to fight for whatever they believe in. They're going to fight for their vision to help as many people break free from the matrix, or just break free from their job, or anything that they want, they can have if they just make a decision and take massive action. And they treat you so well too. It's like, they flew me first class. I got in a nice hotel, took me out on a yacht for the day. I still remember that. We were sitting down and he was like, "So do you want to go on a yacht?" And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I'm not going to turn it down, right?" So it took us to this like nice seafood restaurant, and yeah, it was just amazing. It was just the greatest day ever. And at that time I was just beginning. I had no clue what I was doing, and like they gave me like the greatest advice. I just remember one thing that Dave Sharp told me, because before when I started, I was always so scared of like what other people thought of me, especially in this business. And he told me that, don't worry about the people who are laughing at you, who are hating on you, who are criticizing you. Just think of them as little ants. They're so small. It's not going to matter when you're on stage picking up a big fat check, when you're traveling the beaches of the world, when you get hand in your resignation form. It's not going to matter. So ever since then, I've always had that saying stuck to me. Whenever I feel like people are looking at me or criticizing me, I always have to think of them as just small little ants. Like they're so small, it's not going to matter. So if whoever's watching this, if you're watching this, listening to the sound of my voice, and you feel the same way, you've been where I am, you're in that situation where I was, just think of them as little ants. So small it's not going to matter, because you're meant for bigger things, you're meant for greater things. And we're here to help you out. We're here to inspire you, and inspire you through sharing our stories, sharing experiences, because we understand what you go through. We've all gone through the same thing. So it was just a great day, and I'll never forget it.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, thanks for sharing, Sheena. It must have been a phenomenal day. You were so fortunate to have that experience, especially, so early on, within your business. So yeah, awesome. Thanks for sharing, Sheena. Good stuff.
Nope, no problem.
All right, let's move along here. John, Paul, and John, who would actually like to take the reins next? Go ahead, either one of you.
Yeah, sure. One of the things that I get a lot out of the live events is because I'm totally immersed in it. We have our day-to-day lives all the time going on, and being able to go out to a different place, but I'm totally immersed within it. Around all the noise that's out there, all the distractions. It's a 3 to 4 day just full-on immersion into it, and I come out. We're fully engaged into it as well. It's high energy. It's fast-paced. It totally takes us, literally, like figuratively, into a different place, not just where we're at, whether it's going to be Orlando or Charlotte or New Orleans or wherever we are. It's not just that, but we're in a different place within that. And that's something that I get a lot out of, because within that space, the people that we get to talk to, not generally just the speakers themselves or anything. It's actually the culture around it. You'll see some of the innovation going on within the industry. You'll find some of I like a lot of the edginess that's within our marketplace. I like the people that challenge our audience as a whole. I like everybody that's just experimenting differently. And when I go into some of the events, what I'm looking for is value to give back to people as well. How can I just immerse myself with as much knowledge, or into as much knowledge and creativity that I can, and then how can I flip that back over to my audience as well with what I've learned, and it's pretty much like I'm filling up my bank on everything that I can put out for the next couple of months, and it's something that I get a lot of personal satisfaction out of it. The social aspect of it too. It's a totally different social space when we're in that. Now, also within the sessions too, you'll have breakout sessions. You'll have some of the all-in sessions. Some of the all-in trainings that we've been able to receive have been just astronomical in the value that we've got from them. I don't think I have enough time on one single hangout just to break down in detail exactly how much I have gotten from all the private sessions that we've had. I mean, we've been a part of actual product launches because of that. And being there live while someone's actually breaking everything down to you, you can't get that, because you cannot get that anywhere else. It's something where where some of the presenters are already implementing it in their business, and they're sharing it with you. And for the price of what it was, I mean, a lot of our tickets, most of the time, other than paying for some of like the VIP tickets and things like that, you can get in there for $149, and for what you get for $149 for a 3-day event is just, well, 3 to 4 day event sometimes, is just amazing. I feel extremely special when I go there too, just because sometimes it's hard on your team because you can't be everywhere all in one place. Like, you can't be all over the country, all over the world to meet up with every one of your team members all the time. And for me, we get to leverage that space in that time with our team. We're actually finding a common place to go to as well, where we can also still have our dinners together, and we can go out and make it special for our teammates as well too, people that are actually helping to build our business. And anytime that I might feel not necessarily stuck, because I don't really get that stuck often, not anymore, not after the master's course and everything, but anytime that I feel like I can take my business to another level and tweak it a little bit further, that's all I'm looking for is, those 1 or 2 little tidbits that can turn around and take and add zeros into my bank account. And that's really why I go to a lot of it. Yeah, it's nice having the immersion and everything. It's nice being around people, but the bottom line, when I go to these events, they're actually a business trip, for me. I'm actually working while I'm there, but it doesn't seem like it's work, That's a 4-letter word that not a lot of people like to use, is the whole W word, but it's not work when you love what you do. So that's why I like the live events, is because I still can take my business to the next level. I can meet up with different leaders and just actually ask intelligent questions to get an actual intelligent answer back. That's one thing that I recommend as well. If you go to a live event, have an intelligent question if you have one. Have it lined up so that you can actually get real solid feedback on the back end, whether it's from a conversion statistic or anything else, or mindset development, whatever it is. Have an intelligent question lined up so that you can get that feedback in a positive way. I know that helped me a lot too, because sometimes at the beginning of it, I was kind of running on random a lot. I thought I needed to know all kinds of different things, and my mind's over here, then it's over here, then I'm up 1 minute, I'm down the next, and I couldn't even formulate how I wanted the answer. Like, I wasn't able to structure anything for a person to give me constructive feedback at all, because I was so all over the map. And it looks like we've got Troy, who finally popped on here, so we'll get Troy will be out here soon. But it's nice having a home base to come back to, like every 3 months. It's really nice having that home base of where we can reconnect with our teammates and just get grounded again and cut out all the noise that's around you. So I get so much from the live events, and what's interesting about them is after every live event, our income has always gone up within our business. It's actually compounded every single time. We've never just stopped at anything. It's never capped itself, and that's something where it's always catapulted further. So that's important to everybody, I would think. Everybody on this panel that wants to take their business to a different level, that's highly, highly recommend. You got to put your butt in a seat, and you have to be present. And that's the main thing with it. You just have to get there. And the hardest part for anything, as we all know, is just showing up. The rest of it just takes care of itself.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, awesome stuff, John Paul. I just want to add a little bit here. When we first got started online together, actually John Paul got started first, and I didn't get into it till a few months later. And he started talking to me about these live events that they were having. And he's like, oh, we got to get to the event. And I was like, what do you mean we got to get to the event? What's the event for? I didn't understand why we had to go to the event. I was just like, oh, so when I started actually plugging into the education and the community, that's when I realized that we did need to get to the event. And the main reason why I knew we had to get there was because the leaders were telling me I had to get there. And I was prepared to do whatever it took to be successful and follow the people that were having the success that I wanted. So if they were going to tell me I had to get to an event, I was going to be there. If they were going to tell me I had to stand on my head and do 10 cartwheels or whatever it was, you know, I was going to do that, and I'll still do that to this very day. You have to be coachable and you have to be teachable. So yeah, I wanted to point that out because that was something really interesting that I look back on and I'm like, wow, you know, I didn't understand why I needed to get to the event until I got to the event. So if you're out there and not understanding why you need to get there, you just have to get there. It's an indescribable feeling to be there, and experience it for yourself. So, all right, it looks like we've got a few latecomers jumping on here. Troy, are you there? I can't see a picture of you. I'm not sure if you're actually there.
I'm
You're
here.
there?
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? We can't see you.
No? How?
Oh,
I see me in the little. I see
you see
myself
yourself?
in there. What
Oh, there
what
you
do I
go.
have to do?
Yeah,
This is my
yeah, we see you
this
now.
is my first hangout.
Awesome.
Alesha?
Yeah, I can see you now. Yeah, we can
Oh,
see you.
okay, good.
You're
Good.
all
Well,
good. Welcome
do
on.
I talk? This is my guys. This is my first hangout. So I've been with Empower for a little while, and I
Yay.
kind of got sponsored by someone, but I'm not really in the loop with him. I don't even know if he's still with Empower. So it's funny. I was going to some Google groups, and I kind of put posts out there, and a guy named Nathan kind of welcomed me into the group, and then Alesha came and told me about this hangout. Can you guys hear me? Hello? Okay. And then Alesha came on and invited me to this hangout, and I said, you know what, I got to start doing this stuff. I got to become part of some community because I'm kind of doing Empower by myself. It's myself and my son. We're partners. So I know today we're talking about the power of events. And when we first started, we actually went to the event in Miami. And I'm telling you, that thing, it really moved us in a direction. And the events do this. Because let me segue for a minute. When you miss the events, like I went to Miami, I went to Seattle, and it was super strong, and I was super in it. And then I missed Charlotte, and I missed New Orleans, and you fade back a little bit for some reason. You begin to lose the connection that you had when you first went there. Like for instance, when we went to the Miami one, that's when I don't know how new or how old you guys are, but Dave Sharp was there. And it was this one day when he started this thing. He was on a roll for this particular event in Miami, and I was new, and when you're new, you're in, but you're not all the way in. And it was when Vic was coming out with his first product, and we were there, and it was like it was kind of cool for a minute, and then he started going to this thing about it's your time, and whatever energy was emanating from him on that day, it began to take over like the whole crowd. And my son and I, we were in the back, but it just got, the whole event was raucous. It was like a build-up. It was like a constant build-up to when Sharp was going to do this. And then he went in that, and I'm telling you, that day and for about a month or two after, I was so into it. You know what I mean? Like matter of fact, I went to Seattle actually thinking that, we got a bunch of great speakers with Empower Network, as you guys all know. But I kind of went there. I kind of just fell into the whole vibe of Dave Sharp, and I literally went to Seattle for that, and he ended up not ever happened. Since then has happened. But the power of the event is you get to meet so many people. You get inspired on a level that you can't believe, and you don't really understand it until you miss one. Or you miss two in a row, and then you're like, now you're trying to get it off the Empower products there and everything. You're constantly in the inner circle, or you're constantly, going back through 15K or whatever you have. You're just going back over, like, you need that feed. You know what I mean? Going through old Empower videos from before the network was even started. I just wanted to share that. I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time, and I hope I hit on what you guys actually are looking for right now. But I kind of wanted to introduce myself to the group and let you guys know that I'm definitely going to be in Orlando, and hopefully I got a team going at that point to come on with me, because the events are definitely where it's at, especially with the leaders we have. Dave Wood, Tony Rush, Justin Varendi. We got some great speakers, and slowly but surely, just by listening to them, we're grooming ourselves to be great speakers. And when our time comes, we'll be ready to inspire big groups as we're inspiring just individuals at the time, for me. All right? Is that cool, Alicia? Can you
Yeah,
even
it's
hear me?
awesome stuff. Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay.
You good?
Yes, I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
definitely hear you.
Awesome stuff, Troy. Yeah, it's definitely everything you said there is so true. You know, once you start going to the events, and then if you don't be consistent with it, you feel really left out. You're like, oh, what happened? And you have to kind of scramble around to discover like what you missed out on. But ultimately,
Yeah.
ultimately you can't get back that feeling or that experience because you weren't there. So
Yes.
you got to get there, and you've got to keep going. Definitely. So, how long have you actually been in Empower? How long have you been with us?
I started like in November, right before the freedom, literally November of 2013.
Okay.
But
Yeah, that's
also when I first started, also this is what else events do for you. When I first started, all I got was the blogging platform because I just kind of wanted an outlet to kind of kind of just blog through or kind of get my views out there. But when I got there, I got Vig's thing, and then shortly after, I got 15K. I don't know, whatever it was, whatever the inspiration was, it got me more into it, and that got me more knowledge and more commitment to the point where now I have everything but mastery. I know I should have mastery too. I'm not all in, but I'm working towards that now. And literally, it's all because of the events. Even I got TPF as well. I got all the little side things. I just got everything but masteries. Like I just haven't been able to come up with my 3,500. And I know in the Empower world, that's an excuse. You can come up with the money, but I have not yet. All
well,
right.
yeah. You definitely get there. As soon as you can, whatever it takes. I know you'll get that master's course and you'll be all in. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Definitely for sure. Well, thanks for sharing, Troy. That's awesome stuff. Um,
Okay. Thanks for inviting me. I think I'm gonna come on these things with you guys on Mondays.
yeah, it's good fun, isn't
Yes.
it? Definitely, yeah, for sure. We'd love to have you each week. We're going to pop across to John Newman now. Are you there, John?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Cool, cool, cool.
Take it away.
Okay, so here's kind of the funny thing from my perspective is when I joined Empower in March of 2013, and the first time I heard about events, my expectation of events was, you'll go to these hotels and see all these people that are dressed in coats and ties, and you see some of these other events from MLM companies, and I'm going, I'm not going to go to an event where I have to dress in a coat and tie and do all that kind of stuff, and so somebody kind of set me straight on Empower Network, and that's what I love about this community is that it's powerful, it's casual, it's fun. The events are awesome. It's great to get together with people that you know or don't know. Everybody's kind of talked about tips and techniques and all of those things. That's what I get out of events mostly. But the biggest thing is mindset reset, because in this world that we live in today, we don't really get a chance to interact and communicate with people in this kind of environment that often. And so the live events really help you get a better sense of things that you need to be doing, but also just to be able to kind of get that mindset reset, because a lot of times when you're sitting there, in front of a computer screen at your desk, all day long, you don't really have a chance to kind of get the feedback that you need to have, that you can get with live events on things that you need to be thinking about, things that you need to be prioritizing, and just to be able to get the experience that other people have. So to me, that's the power of the live events. It's the ability to get together with friends. It's the ability to learn from leaders, and the ability to get some additional tips and techniques from people that are having success today. Because not everything in this world that we live in today, not everything is static. Everything changes, and so you really need to be able to stay on top of new technologies, new ways of being able to to implement things in your business. And so, to me, that's the power of live events. And the other thing too, one thing I just want to, so we've been talking about live events where you physically go to the events, but to me, these kinds of hangouts are very similar. I mean, we're not connected, in person, but anything that you can do to be able to get together with people in some kind of live setting where they can actually see you, and kind of understand the type of person and the type of people that you're dealing with, those are super, super powerful. So anyway, I highly recommend anybody, and I'm kind of with Troy. I've missed a couple of Empower events, and I'm feeling like, man, I'm sort of missing the power of positive reinforcement and the powerful messages that you get from those events. So anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in Orlando. Definitely going to be there.
Yeah, definitely. Orlando is where it's at. Yeah, thanks for sharing, John. We will be in Orlando October 23rd, I do believe it is. October 23rd through the 26th. So anybody who's watching this today, that gets started, we'd love to have you join us at our live event. It would be the perfect time to get you kick-started within your business, to get started and then go straight to an event. That would be a phenomenal experience for you. So very cool. As John said, it's very important to have that personal interaction, and that's what you get at the events. Often we're behind our computer screens, it can feel very lonely. And as John mentioned, the next best thing to that is what we're actually doing right now. It's something where we come together weekly and we share our experiences, we share training, we share value, and it creates a sense of community, which is what we're all about here. So with that being said, I'm going to see if we can bring Tim out. Tim, are you there? I don't know whether his connection is good. All I can see is his big fuzzy hair. There you are. I think you're still muted. Can unmute yourself there.
How's that?
There you go. There we go. We're good.
Really?
All right.
Yeah.
How you doing?
How's it going?
All right. Yeah, Tim's a trooper, everybody. He's working his butt off within this business and a few other jobs that he has, and he's in between all different things, and he said he was going to do whatever it took to get to this hangout today, and he made it. So take it away.
Yeah, I just had to wake up. I'm still half asleep. I worked from 5 a.m. yesterday until 7:30 this morning. Ooh. With an hour drive in there. Yeah, that's why I got to hang out with you guys more. So, yeah, I don't know what to say, but the events, there's a few people here that I've met, and it's all because of the event. And that's what's awesome. I'm making friends all over the place, and it's really cool. And I can't wait to get to Orlando.
Yeah, definitely. I know John Paul and myself, we actually met you for the first time. Which event was it at? Was it in Miami, I think?
No, it was either Denver, I think, when we actually talked.
That's right. It was Denver. I was just getting the two events confused because there were two events.
Kind of blend in a bit.
Yeah, they all blend in. That was actually our first event at that time, and that's when we first actually met you. And that was actually our first event that we went to in Denver. So that was pretty awesome. And, we've been keeping in contact with you since, and if we hadn't gone to that event, we may have not ever gotten in contact with you because there's so many of us. There's thousands of people. So what do you think has been the most impactful event for you? Like, what comes to mind?
It's hard to say. I just know that my favorite thing of the events is meeting people and making new friends. And since I've been going, first one I went to was San Diego, and I just kind of went by myself and didn't know anything. I didn't even know what I was doing down there really. And since then, I've got, I don't know, friends all over the world. And the funny thing is, I met one guy from Abbotsford, which is my hometown, and never saw him before. And I met Nat Green. He lives not far from me, about 40 minutes. And then, not to mention people from all over Canada. Like, where are you from, Sheena? Somewhere up here, I know.
Toronto. I'm on the east side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, well, John Paul and yourself, and Rick, my friend's been coming out from Calgary. And, I mean, France, Germany, South America, Australia. It's just cool meeting people, and I can't wait to get to Orlando and go and have a beer with some of the guys like Brian, Lawrence. So yeah, that's the biggest thing for me, is just meeting people. And like you say, it makes it real once you actually get to see that it's not just a video or something.
Yeah, definitely. Being able to surround yourself with like-minded people and the leaders in our company that have the results that you want is very important. I mean, you can connect with them over the internet, but it's not the same when you can, sit down and grab a drink, as you would say, and chat to a leader in the company. Nothing really compares to that, to have that experience. Which is really awesome. How do the events make you feel when you're there, Tim? Like, how does it feel? Like, what do you get out of it the most? Like, what feeling?
Well, you get lots of energy, of course, from everybody, and I don't even know where to start. Like, I don't know.
It's indescribable, isn't it? It's hard to actually come up with the words to explain to somebody who hasn't been to one before.
Yeah, and I think one of the things is lots of my friends that, you love your friends that you grow up with, and they just don't see it, and they don't get it, and then they're always wondering, what are you doing? And I go, well, you have to come and find out. And I've actually, I'm bringing my wife Nicole and my daughter Lola to Orlando, and
Awesome.
we kind of wanted to get one of my friends to come, and I told him, I'm paying for your hotel and everything, and he still doesn't want to come because he doesn't get it. So I don't know what to do, because he's an awesome guy, but you just have to. Part of the problem is I got to go out there and do something, so they start asking questions like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, on that note, Tim, I want to say congratulations too for putting that one video out there that you put out for TPF. That was actually a hilarious video. It was well made. And it was nice, actually. Like, you took a really big leap there, and I know for you, like, personally, since I know you, I know that was a big leap for you. But it's awesome. I was actually when you were talking, I was actually trying to Google it and try to find it, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it on your Facebook wall or on Google Plus either. So I don't know where that video is hiding out at, but you gotta put that link up on Facebook or share it on the Empower Network Facebook wall, because it's actually really, really good. It's a funny video. I
Really?
like it. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I mean, you guys went through the whole thing, and the whole idea of it was actually really good. So, congrats on that. That was a really, really good initiative on your part. So.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know. That's part of my problem, is figuring out how to do all this stuff, and it is on my Facebook, but I thought it was funny that no one sees it, so I don't know how all that stuff works yet.
Yeah, you probably just have to repost it up there, but it was actually really, I liked it, and I know that a lot of people would like it as well too if they saw it, just because the concept of it was pretty cool. So yeah, try to post that one back up there.
Okay, I'll try that. So yeah, I don't know what else to say, but it's just really cool meeting people, and like I said, my favorite thing is making friends and actually getting out, and like every 3 or 4 months we get to go and hang out somewhere cool. That was the other thing. I hadn't traveled for years. Well, basically ever since they made us have a passport to go to the States, and like our house where I grew up is only 2 miles from the States, and we used to ride our bikes down there when we were kids. They wouldn't even ask us for ID or parents or nothing. And now how crazy it's got. But since I started with Empower, I've just gone to as many of the events as I can. I've missed a couple of the regionals, but I look forward to it. Like, I've never been to the East Coast. Now I've been to Florida twice, and we're going again. So how awesome is that?
Can't beat it.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I've lived in the States for about just over 4 years now, and because of this business and the events, I've gotten to travel to many towns and places in this country that I might not have gone to. We've been fortunate enough to have family in some of these places as well. So it really is indescribable. You just have to get there. So and I know today is Tim's first hangout as well, and I'm really happy that he got on today. I know that he was a little scared to step out of his comfort zone a little bit, as we all are, the very first time. So, yeah, congrats for jumping on, and I hope the nervous jitters have kind of disappeared now, and, it's not all that bad, is it?
No, it's good. It's hanging out with friends. And the funny thing is, because I worked so long, I barely got 2.5 hours of sleep last night. And now I'm just sitting in my backyard. You can probably see my lawn needs cutting, but I'm sitting here in my underwear.
Yep.
Like, whatever.
Yeah, anybody who can show up on a hangout, shirtless or in their underwear in your case, for their first one, you got it made, man.
Yeah, that's the beauty of this business. We can sit around in our underwear and work if we like.
Yep.
That's so awesome. It's very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I might jump in a little bit and share a few little thoughts here before we close out. For me, as I mentioned before, our first event was in Denver, and when we first got involved, I didn't understand why I had to be at the event, and we just got there. We knew we had to get there, so we got there. And I want to kind of liken this, I guess, to think about, if you're a major sports fan, think about, going to your sports game. And if you're not, think about, a music concert, some big event that, you love to go to that happens regularly. And for me, I'm a huge Aussie Rules football fan. And if you don't know what Australian Rules football is, it is not rugby, it is not soccer. I urge you to take a look. It's actually one of the greatest games in the world, and John Paul actually loves it now, and he thinks American football kind of sucks after he's seen ours. So it's an interesting perspective. But yeah, a lot of people in the US don't even know it exists, so I encourage you to take a look at it if you're a sports fan. But I've been here for 4 years, and we have a live subscription, so I can watch the games live every single week. And a lot of the time, those games are on at about 3 a.m. in the morning because of the time difference. Okay, but what do? I'm committed to my team. I'm committed to watching my sport. So I stay up and I watch the games till 6 a.m. We both do. And that's just me. I'm a committed person. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to get in. I'm going to get all in, as we say. And I want you to think about this. There's a massive difference between us watching the game on TV than actually being there in this stadium live. And I keep telling John Paul I can't wait till we're back in Australia and the footy's on so I can take you. Nothing compares to that. Think about that in your own life with your own sports team or a famous music concert, some event that you've gone to. And if you've been watching that on the TV, how different would that experience be? Because when you're there live, you're amongst thousands and thousands of people that feel the same way that you do, that have the same passion, the same love for what it is that you're looking at, for what it is that you're watching. And once again, that is an indescribable feeling, to be there, to experience the energy, to experience something with so many people. Whereas if you're sitting on your couch watching it on the TV, you really don't get that feeling at all. I mean, yeah, we jump and shout in our living room, while we're watching the game, but it's just not the same. So, that's how I would kind of describe it to somebody out there who's watching this right now that's never been to an event. That's the best way that I can think of to share with you, how important it actually is and how it makes you feel. It's where the magic happens. It really is. We talk about breakthroughs. It's where the breakthroughs happen as well, within your business, especially if you're brand new. We want to surround ourselves with like-minded people, that are getting the results that we want within our business. And for me personally, at the end of the event is very crucial, and a lot of people don't talk too much about this. But during the event, people make powerful decisions, and people make commitments to their business. A lot of people will recommit to their business, and they'll make really powerful decisions that carry on after the event. And the training that you get, usually you can't get anywhere else but at the live event. So you're not only missing the experience and meeting people who can change your life, building relationships with people that will affect and change your life forever. It's not only that, you're actually missing training that you won't get anywhere else, most likely. Or even if you do, even if there is a recording, it's not going to be the same. It won't have the same effect, most likely. So, people make powerful decisions, they recommit to their business, and it puts everything in perspective for them. Any challenges they've been having, we've been having, sometimes you'll come out of the event and you'll have a breakthrough, and you would have learned a different way to do something that may have challenged you. You'll come away with a game plan. We talk about this a lot, a game plan for the next 90 days. Our events usually happen 90 days between each other. And we walk away with a game plan of what we're going to do when we leave the event. We've got a to-do list. And that's really where it's at for me. You get refocused, you get recommitted, you get re-inspired, re-motivated, and you step into a new phase of your business. And the most important part of that is you walk away from the event and you have all the motivation in the world. But when that self-motivation starts to fade away a little bit, what you've got left is called commitment. And that commitment is what is going to carry you through. That commitment is going to fuel your personal growth and your progress. And that's what you need to have. A lot of people leave the event and they're like, yeah, I'm pumped, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and then they'll fade away a little bit. Which is okay, but you need to commit to that decision that you made at the event to carry it through. And and even if you do fade a little bit, there's another event within 90 days, so you can pick yourself back up again and get back on course. I think David Wood has mentioned this, and I actually read it in a book that I'm reading right now, The Slight Edge, which I talk about a lot because I just love this book. And they talk about I think, Sheena, you might know this as well because you've read the book. I don't know who else has read it, but they talk about how a rocket ship is 95% or something off course, and there's this little thing that, like, I don't know what it's called, the technical term, that brings it back on course, like, the rest of the time. And you can liken that to your business. So we're off course a lot, but it's through our failures and through our challenges that we learn and we move towards our success. And without the commitment after the event, you're not going to be productive. So I want you all to, think about that as well. It's not only the experience of the event; it's what happens afterwards. It's really crucial to what happens within your business to take it to the next level. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on everything. If anybody's got any final thoughts before we close out, you can pop on right now. Anyone's got any little stories or any final thoughts that they'd like to give?
There was one thing I just want to mention, and that's basically when you go to the event, you've got to participate. Make sure when you get to the event, if you know nobody there, connect with people. It's super, super important. I can't stress enough how important it is for you to connect with people at the events. Just even make one connection, it'll make a difference. I can assure you, it will make a difference. So.
Yeah, You're totally true on that, John. I liken that to being like a real estate agent as well too, because I was a real estate agent in Las Vegas, and the one thing I learned real fast is you cannot be Agent 007 where nobody knows you. Like you have to put yourself out there. This is an industry where being known is a good thing. And there's different ways of that too. You can be notorious for different things as well. So I mean that works for some people. And there's a and I know when I said that everybody had their own ideas going off on different people. So I mean that in a positive way because hey, to each their own. And that was it. You can't go around being Agent 007 where no one knows your name. You want this to be like your big version of Cheers. Everybody knows your name. You want that, because it's one where when you can elevate yourself above the noise of everybody else. There's the old saying of there's a lot of fighting down here, but it's real quiet up here at the top, and there's tons of room up there, but everybody's scrounging around down here at the bottom. And yeah, Sheena, I know you like Cheers. I know. Oh, I can't see her. She muted. Sure, she faded out there. But either way, and then Alesha, you were talking earlier about how we'll watch the AFL footy games a lot and how we have that commitment. Well, what's interesting about that is I've actually been to the Melbourne Cricket Grounds in Australia with Alesha, but it was when the football season wasn't going on, and we made it a priority to actually go to the stadium to have a private tour around. Her father took us around too with it and got us a private tour of the grounds. It was amazing because we actually got to go down, out onto the field, and then we also got to go underneath into the locker rooms, the training grounds, everything, and to be able to be in the same locker room and see my favorite players' locker and everything, and to be in the same environment that they're in, it just grounded me that much more further into my commitment level to the team as well. And going to the events is likening that as well too. It's reinforcing your commitment level to yourself, and whether that's through buying products and having ownership of the products and going through them and applying them. When we go to the events, we're all talking a lingo that if you don't have some of those products, you're going to be clueless on them. And that's why too. I'll invite you to go below this video. There's going to be a button down there that says yes, I'd like to get started. If you're not in, just get in. Go ahead and click that, and then you'll know more information about exactly what we have going on here, or get back to whoever shared this video with you as well, and reach out to them, whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, however, phone call, whatever. Get back in touch with that person because you want to embrace what everybody has going on, and you want to be a part of it. I didn't have a fear when I first went to do this. I saw one of my friends, Peter, in Las Vegas. I saw that he'd gone to this event, and he was starting to make some progress with stuff. And I had just saw on Facebook that he was doing this thing, and I knew that I didn't really know him that well at the time. I just kind of knew him through different circles. Well, I just shot him a message on Facebook and said, "Hey, I see that you've got this thing going on. It looks really interesting. Exactly what is it?" And I went up to his office and I just met up with him. And his office at the time was hilarious because it wasn't really like a full-on professional office. It was like I went in there and I thought the guy was making adult movies, to be honest. Because I walked in there and I see all these I see all these lights and stuff, and it's Vegas, So I'm like, oh man, what is this guy doing? And I was like, what the hell did I just get myself into? Did I even come in here? But it was up the road from my house, so I was like, well, we're in a good spot. It can't be that kind of stuff. What's going on? Here it was just their video set up to where they had the green screen and everything, and they were actually doing some promo videos, and I didn't know what the hell they were doing. I was clueless. And he sat down and he, talked to me as a person and explained what we have going on and what the community was about. But then he turned around and I thought he was going to start busting out the whiteboard with circles and dots and numbers and this and that, but it wasn't. We actually turned around and started talking dollars and cents, like an actual real business plan, and actually how it was going to structure our future together. And that since that point, it's pretty much been a tiered process the whole way through. The education that I've gotten, I can't get anywhere else. Even when we go to the events as well. Since this hangout is about the power of live events, what I can tell you is that after our first event, we were not fully in. We were up to the 15K formula level, but it was okay because we knew that we were on the path to get all in, and we had a an actionable plan to get us there. And after that event, it just fast-tracked it. We just took off with it. I think that we met up with Peter in Las Vegas. We went out to have some, well, we were supposed to go see, I don't remember, I think we're supposed to go see some hypnotist show or something new or different that was coming out, but they ended up canceling it because somebody else was coming in town. It's just the way Vegas works, I guess. So we ended up just having a couple drinks down at the bar. You know, we had a little heart-to-heart talk about some things. Next thing you know, within 3 hours, we found enough funds to go all in. You know, and just to say we found enough funds, you know, we made it happen to come up with, you know, $3,500, and because we made it a priority to us. And now, you know, when I look back at the opportunity that Empower's put in place right now with the bundle packages on everything, you know, we spent well over $5,500. Well, actually more than that. You know, I think it was around $6,500 by the time we did everything, because we got a lot of some of the other products as well to really help us get to where we wanted to be at. And it was great because we have like a menu. You know, if we want to learn about, you know, solo ads and traffic or anything, we can pretty much go through and just say, okay, I'd like that today, done. You know, we pick it off the menu and we immerse ourselves in it. But after that event, if we would have never went to those events, we would have never been fully committed into ourselves and into our business to take that next leap and take that next step. You know, and that's where, you know, you can be kind of rocky and you can have those. You're a human being. You're gonna have your ups and downs. You know, you're gonna have those, but it's restructuring and refocusing and getting you centered back on your course of action. That the events had helped us, you know, and like Tim said, you meet amazing people. If it wasn't for some of these events, I would have never met Sheena. You know, Tim, I probably would have never met as well too. And Tim, I am really glad that you came out today too. You know, thank you for taking the time today. I know that you're all over the place with what you've got going on. You're a busy guy and you're doing what you got to do. You know, John, same thing as well. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate you as well. Sheena, it's always hilarious when you're around. And then we've got Troy. Troy, I haven't met you yet, but it's nice to meet you. You know, and thanks again for coming out as well too. But yeah, get a hold of whoever showed you this link or this page or anything. You know, feel free to shoot them a message, comment, you know, question them, anything. But click on that link, get started today, and we'll see you on the inside.
Yeah, definitely. Anyone else have any final thoughts before we close out?
Well, Alesha, I'd like to thank you guys for even having me today, because now, you know, I've kind of been doing it. My Empower team has been more or less the tapes. I mean, not the tapes, but the digital products and the events that I had gone to. So it's really good to have gotten in with, you know, what is it, 6 of us here with, you know, just a team of 5 new people, because although we might not be connected, although some of us might be connected one way or the other, but although we're not connected so intimately as in Powerline or Upline and all that, at least I have a group where I can come into and invite some people and get some insights and maybe even start to communicate with some of you guys as we get more serious and find our way towards the top. Because as we know, Empower is still just in the beginning. And, you know, now is whenever we begin to build our momentum is always the perfect time. So I'm just glad to be here, guys. You know, I'm glad I came in, even though I was a little late. So next week, I'll definitely be back, and you know, hopefully I'm back with a few guests, and I'm looking forward to working with you guys.
Yeah, definitely, Troy. It's been awesome meeting you, and you know, everybody on the panel today. It's been great, and as you can see, we're a community here, and we support each other, and it's what it's all about. You know, building, you know, rapport and relationships with people, and you know, we believe in you even when, you know, you don't believe in yourself, and we're here to lift you up, and that's what it's all about. And you'll feel the power of that week by week as we go by on these hangouts. So we encourage you to join us each week, as we'll be giving you value and content and trainings that can really help you and you know, implement into the business that you already have. Or you can feel free to join us and get the tools, the marketing, the education that you need to get your business to the next level. Or if you don't have a business, this becomes your business. And that's what's so cool with our community. We have so many options. which is very cool. So once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. Everybody on the panel has shared some awesome stuff today. And we'll see you all next week with a new topic. So stay tuned. Have an awesome day. And as John Paul mentioned, JP, John Paul, whatever you want to say, click on the link below this video, get started, or get back to the person that invited you to this call and find out some more info. Leave your comments, questions below the video. We'd love to hear from you. And have an awesome day. We'll see you next week.